Members of PCA, and especially the readers of Panorama, you're very familiar with this gentleman. If you've never seen him, you've certainly read his stuff and probably seen his work on TV with Porsche. It's Jeff Zwart, who, take me 2 minutes, 3 minutes just to list all the stuff you've done, but Pikes Peak champion, renowned photographer, writer, and whatnot. As some people tell me, you're probably the best iPhone photographer. They wonder how you manage to get such great iPhone pictures when they have expensive cameras and can't pull the same thing. So let's start off with that question. Is it just something you're looking for in particular? Just with a simple iPhone, you seem to take these great pictures.
Yeah, the iPhone is pretty cool because it's got so many applications. The lens on it's really great. So it's nice, and they always say the age-old thing is your best camera is the one you have with you all the time. So I happen to carry it all the time, and I have it. And I gotta say, I jokingly say there's a Zwart app I use, and the Zwart app's super expensive. It's a college education. I did go to school for photography, so I apply that and the design and everything else that I had. But it's not the camera; it's where you point it.
Now we know you're a Porsche fanatic, and probably one of the best jobs in the world is when you get to work with Porsche. But in your own stable of cars, you've got quite a few impressive ones. Which one's your favorite to drive around?
The cars that I've collected, were kind of were meaningful to me in my own career of cars along the way, and then a different feeling out of each one, a different era, things that mark different eras in Porsche's world. So, I have one of the earliest. I have a Gamoon Coupe from 1949, and I have one of the latest, an RS 4.0. So, that range of things that I have and experience the highlights in between there is just a great thing. And that's what I look for, is the experience of the driving. But I got to say, I have my first car I ever bought with my own money in 1974. So I've had it now 40 years, which is a 914-6. But even that car I took and ran on the Panama, Alaska rally, which was 25 days, 10,000 miles. So, they have they mean something to me because of what they are, but I've also had such incredible experiences in almost all of them.
You must have a very understanding wife to be able to keep all these cars, because I'm at 3 and I can't convince her for 4. And what about your race cars? Any memorable ones that you've raced?
Certainly the Pikes Peak car that I won with in 1994 is one of my favorites. It's a Carrera 4. Porsche Motorsport and Andal kind of put together a turbo motor for it, and it's back to being a normally aspirated car now, but it's as I drove it in the 93 and 94 Rally Championship, and also won with it at Pikes Peak. So I still have that race car, and that's kind of the only one that I still have. I always have the latest one that I've run, so I still have my one I ran last year.
All right, so let me ask you some direct questions. Manuals versus PDK. Are the manuals going to die?
You always like the engagement with a car that the manual provides, but I'm a really big PDK fan. Ultimately, your everyday driving involves a lot of other things today than just blasting down a road. So having the PDK and the ease of it, but also being able to actually put yourself in there and pull gears and go up and down to the gears and be able to go in a Sport Plus mode or whatever, and it amps it up from there. That's a really engaging car. I jokingly say sometimes that I think I shift as much as I do in a manual in the PDK, because I really do work with it in a manual mode for the most part. And I just like it. And the reality is that if we go to Nordschleife and we take a manual and we take a PDK, the PDK is faster, and not just by a little bit. It's faster per mile, in a half second to 1 second range. And that's pretty incredible. And a GT3 is a car that represents the strongest performance for Porsche. And why would they not want to have the best transmission to go the fastest around the track? And that's what PDK results in.
What about the people who say that Porsche might be losing its way with coming out with another SUV type model, the Macan?
I really love the concept of the sport utilities for Porsche. I think because we've all grown up, we've gotten more things to do. I have a Cayenne that I've had 2 years and 4 months now. It just turned 75,000 miles. I'm towing cars and horse trailers and all sorts of things all the time, and I make long distance trips in it. But you know, the feedback in it, the experience in it, feels like a Porsche. And I spend so much time even in camera cars. When I shoot these commercials that I shoot, we have that big black camera car with the arm on the roof. And occasionally, because I shoot all over the world, I can't always use a Cayenne for that. And it's really interesting because if you drive around town in the same segment group Cayenne competitors, it's no different on the road. You know, it's the minor differences, you know, the experience. When we put 1,000 pounds on the roof of that car, the Cayenne performs like no other sport utility with that kind of thing, which makes you realize how over-engineered the Porsches are and how great they are to be able to give the worst possible situation. I mean, I've gone around Nürburgring in a Cayenne with a 1,000-foot crane, 1,000-pound crane on the roof, and it's awesome. So, it's cool stuff. And I think the other thing is that certainly with the Macan, this car is a more lively car. It's considerably lighter. It's using turbocharging and the 6-cylinder in it, and those combinations of making it lighter. The performance figures are right there with Cayenne. It's big brother, but it's doing it really efficiently, and it's going to feel more sporty. It's going to have that feel that as soon as I walked up to it the first day, I really felt I could go out and run this around the track. You know, it was that immediate feeling that it was approachable and it was something I could drive really quickly.
Super. All right, there you have it, from the man who owns a Gamoon Coupe to the latest of Porsche's offering, the 4.0, his views on what Porsche is doing and some of his favorite cars.